Talk. I am your host, Dr. Shirley. I want to thank you for liking and subscribing to Harmon Talk. And if you'd like to continue to make direct contact with us, feel free to email us at Dr. Shirley. That's DrShirley. Dr. Shirley at harmontalk.com. We would love to hear from you. And today, here on Harmon Talk, we have a special guest that is back here with us today. My husband, Jerome Harmon.
Hello, everyone. Glad to be back.
It's good to have you back.
Yes, good to be back. It's been a minute.
I missed you.
I missed you too.
With you being back, we want to take this time to add another episode of tools you could use. So we want to make sure that we provide our listeners with valuable information so that they can live their dreams, not their fears. And today, our topic is the 5 W's of success. So we're going to go through and we're going to talk about who, what, when, where, and why.
Wow.
The 5 important W's of success.
Okay.
So just to give a few little helpful hints, let's start with discussing who.
Okay.
As you are striving to achieve your goals, the first thing you have to identify is who you are, who you want to be. And so that comes with looking yourself in the mirror and having some of those difficult conversations. Like, what are your likes? What are your dislikes? That's going to be important because once you get started, you want to enjoy the process. We do realize that you're going to have some rocky moments that are going to be uncomfortable, but there are also going to be some times that you're going to enjoy. You're going to feel fulfilled while you're on this journey. But you also have to understand what your strengths are and your weaknesses. Because your weaknesses are something that you have to work on, that you have to improve so that it will help you to achieve your goals. And even things that are your strengths, that does not mean that it cannot get better. It's always something that you can improve upon as you go on the journey to trying to achieve your goals. There's always something that you can improve, but you have to actually to look yourself in the mirror and come up with, who are you? Who do you want to become? One thing that I had to do with recognizing the person that I was that I was a pleaser. I wanted to please everybody around me. I wanted everybody around me to be happy. But sometimes that was at the detriment of myself. I wasn't happy, but the people around me were happy. And so that only gave me a little bit of fulfillment. It did not fulfill me internally. And so I had to go through and to look at, who am I and who do I want to be? And so I decided that I want to be a person that I still want other people to be happy, but not at the detriment of me and me just taking a little bit away of my soul every time, just trying to make sure that everybody else is happy. So now I also try to make sure that I am a part of the equation as to who am I, and that I want to make sure that Shirley is happy as well. So that's who I am.
Yeah, so you have to have that balance where, like you said, if you are just pleasing, and you're putting yourself at risk, sometimes you can feel invisible in a place like that, you know?
Yes.
So you want not necessarily make your mark, but you want to be seen. You want to be heard, to feel important.
Yes.
Because I mean, sometimes in that pleasing phase, people will recognize that and they will use you.
Yes.
And they'll use you to the point that where if there's something that or they get to the point where they don't have anything that you don't have anything to offer, they try to eliminate you.
Right.
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 So you have all this knowledge and all of these ideas and whatever that you don't get to put out there.
Right. And you're right. I felt invisible.
Yeah.
And you're right as far as feeling unseen. And so when it comes to who you are, that is something that you have to actually be able to identify. Who are you and who do you want to be, who you want to be seen as? And so that is one thing that you have to remember. That's the first W. And the second W is what? And by what, I mean, what do you want to accomplish? I think sometimes we start out on our journey and we just, there's so many different things that we want to try that we don't have any idea as far as planning and what is the goal. What are you trying to accomplish? Sometimes we just start running and running and running a race, but we have no idea how we're planning to get to the finish line. And so what is it that you are trying to accomplish? The journey can be so inspiring. The journey can be fun. The journey can be a struggle. But where do you want the journey to end? So what is the end goal of your journey? That has to be a part of the discussion when it comes to achieving success and achieving your dreams.
And I think with that too, we need to, that's where planning comes in.
Yes.
You have to have a plan.
Yes.
Not just, doing it on a whim or just flying by the seat of your pants or whatever. You have to have a solid plan. And I think that where a lot of us fail, and I've been there too, we've been there too, is that we don't have a solid plan.
Right.
And to have a solid plan, it needs to be written down somewhere. It needs to be in writing.
Right.
It needs to be in writing. The different steps, the different levels. Okay, so when I get here, or in order to get here, I need to do this, this, and this, right? So once I get there, then I need to do this, this, and this. We need to list the steps. 1, 2, 3, A, B, C. Plan A, Plan B. And a lot of me don't do that.
Yes.
I think it's in my head. And so what are you planning? Oh, I got it in my head. Okay. Well, then most time what happens, it stays up there.
Right.
Yeah.
And I like what you were saying when you were saying that we need to write it down. You need to put it on paper. You need to put it on your computer. You need to put it somewhere, because we get so bogged down in different things, and sometimes the plan changes.
Yes.
And you may not start out with it being written down. Sometimes you do start out on things with just a whim. But as you continue to progress and move forward, at some point, you need to come up with a concrete plan.
Right.
You need to put it in writing. You need to move forward that way so that somebody else can help you follow the plan. In order for the plan to grow, in order for you to execute the plan, you have to be able to share that plan with someone. Somebody else is going to be working it with you. And so when you say, oh, yeah, I got it all up here. Yeah. It's all up here in my steel trap. That means that it's not coming out.
Right.
Nobody can help you to execute that vision. So when we say what, it is what do you want to accomplish? So your plan needs to be in a form that it can be followed so that you can accomplish what it is that you are looking to do.
Yes, exactly.
And the next area that we're going to go to is when. And you know my motto, if not now, when?
When? Yes.
And nobody can tell you when. Nobody can tell you when the right time is for you to start your process, or as we say, to start your journey. Nobody can tell you that. It's going to be something that maybe that you feel. It's got to be the right timing. It's got to be the right circumstances, but it's going to have to be something that you feel, that you choose is going to be the right win for you. Nobody can come up and tell you, yeah, you need to do this right now. That may not be the timing that you have already set for yourself. So you have to make sure that it's your timing. It is when you choose to pursue this goal.
Right. Yeah. And I was thinking about when it reminded me, I was talking with one of my nephews there a few days ago. You know, he has all these, he has some great ideas about entrepreneurship, you know, and being a business owner. And just talking with him, and I think my solid words to him was to the thing about it is, you can't just talk about it. You gotta be about it.
Got to be about it.
You gotta do it.
Yes.
You know, I say so. You know, and then a lot of time me, because I know I experienced it too. It's just, you know what, the time is not right, so I'm just waiting.
Right.
Okay, so you're waiting, and then you're waiting.
Right.
Then you just end up waiting.
Right.
So the thing about it is the hardest part is to get started.
The hardest part is to get started.
That's the hardest part, is to get started. So, but then the bottom line is, something is better than nothing.
Right.
Right. So do something.
Right.
You know, just don't sit. I mean, you know, we have to wait. You know, and then we're talking about the right time and this, that's the other. When is it going to be the right time?
You got a good point. You got a really good point. Sometimes you're right. You may just need to step out on faith and to try it.
Yeah.
Because that may be the right time for you.
Right.
So we say that nobody can tell you when the right time is. That may be the right time for you. So it doesn't have to be perfect. And is there ever really a perfect time? There's always going to be something.
Always going to be something.
There's always going to be something.
Yeah, you know. And then we talk, you know, we are faith-based.
Yes.
We are.
Yes.
You know, so we believe, you know, in prayer, and we pray for things and stuff, and then we never jump out there. You know, we're waiting on God. Okay.
Yes. When in actuality, when people say that they're waiting on God, that is true. I believe in that. But I also think that God has provided you with the tools that you need to be successful.
Exactly. Yeah.
So if you trust in God, then you trust in his win. And his win means that you have to jump out there and to step out on faith and try it at that time.
Right. Right.
So the question is, when?
Yeah.
When are you going to do it? There is no time is perfect.
Right.
But you have to trust in God, trust in the process. And when you step out there, you have to be prepared to work it.
Yeah. You know, when I think about when too, I think about, and it might be weird, but I think about double dutch.
Okay, explain.
So you have the two turners, and they're turning the rope, you know, and they're going different ways.
Right.
When is the best time to jump in there? How do you know the right moment? You know, you standing there and you trying to gauge it, you know.
Right.
When is the best moment?
And you're right, because different people jump in at different times.
Yeah. So, you know, life is like that, you know? Life,
yes.
You know, you got stuff coming from this way, coming from that way, you know? So when do you jump in there and get it?
Look at you with that analogy. I like it. I like it, though, because it's so realistic. It is true that everybody jumps in at a different time. You don't have to jump in at the same time.
Right.
So your win does not have to be the same as somebody else's.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. You just picture that young person standing there waiting, and they're trying to get the rhythm, and
I'm picturing you doing the double dutch and jumping in right now at this
me.
point. So. But okay, I'm going to take that visual out of my head. But okay,
I do the life double dutch.
Okay,
you got different things going on. You got this going on over here, that going on over there. So you just gotta get in where you fit in.
That is true.
You gotta pick a. Okay, it's time. It's time. It's time to do it.
That's your win,
right? Yeah,
it is. It's
absolutely.
Time. That is.
So yeah, I don't know if that's if it's a feeling or but you can't. You have to go. You have to do it.
Right.
It's got to be done.
It does.
So just Nike it. Just do it.
Right.
Yeah. You gotta get out there and do something.
Right. I agree.
And then a lot of times you realize too once you get started.
It's the best feeling.
It's a glorifying feeling.
It is the best feeling.
Yeah.
Once you actually start something and you start to see it blossoming or you start to work it, it's the best feeling ever because you're no longer just waiting.
Right.
And a lot of times when you wait, you just continue to build up that fear. And so once you step out and you try it and you go through that win, and it's the best thing ever.
Yeah.
So we encourage everyone, please, when you get an opportunity and it's time to move forward, decide on your win and move forward in achieving your dreams.
Yeah, definitely.
We're going to go to the next one, the next W, which is where. Location, location, location. That's a valuable part of achieving your dreams because sometimes you don't have to make a move. Sometimes where you are currently, you can pursue your dreams where you are. You may not need to move out of your house. You may not need to get another job. You can stay right where you are and achieve your dreams. But sometimes you may have to change your physical proximity. You may have to move. You may have to change your job. You may have to change states. You may have to change your friends. There's some things that you're going to have to change. So when I talk about location, 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 I'm not just talking about your physical location. That is one thing that may have to change. But you also may have to change your mental thinking as well.
Yes.
And some of those people, when I say you may have to change some of the people that you're around, remember that old statement that if you can't change the people around you, change the people you are around?
Yes.
So sometimes you have to change that as well.
Well, sometimes it's not where you are physically, It could be it's where you are mentally.
Yes.
You need because of course, they say that you become the people that you are around.
Yes.
You become your environment.
Yes.
People so you actually have to be around people that you want to mimic.
That
Yeah.
you want to be like.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Also, what's that saying? Association brings on assimilation.
Yes.
Yes.
Or I guess to take it another step, I don't know if it's a step up or a step down, but if you hang out with buzzards, you're going to become a buzzard.
Yeah, you can't be an eagle. Eagle doesn't hang out with buzzards.
There you go. An eagle doesn't hang out with buzzards.
They do not.
So
No.
so that is what we're trying to say when we talk about location, location, location.
Yeah, you need to change your mindset.
You have to change your mindset.
Right. I mean, because the thing about it is, you ever call someone and, to speak with them and that's the first thing they tell you about all the negative stuff that's going on in their life.
Yes. Yes.
They don't got anything good going on. Well, darn, why, okay, well, I hope and pray that it gets better.
Yeah.
But,
Now let me move on and call somebody else.
Yeah.
Because I need to speak to somebody now that can give me a little bit of positive energy
Right.
as well, and that I can actually pour some positive energy into them.
Right.
Because when you talk to that negative person, even though you're giving them that positive spiel, they don't hear it.
Yeah. And
you,
they don't reciprocate it. They don't give it back, And that, and then, if that's all you are around, then that's what you're going to put out there.
Right.
We are products of our environment.
Yes.
And that's not a bad thing, but if you have certain things that you want to do, certain goals or whatever, and nobody in that area is doing it, then
it's time to move.
You got to move.
It's time to move. It's time to make a move.
Yeah.
And moving can be scary.
Yeah.
Because you're going into the unknown. Because people can tell you what it's like to live on the other side of the streets or the other side of the track. But until you get there, you don't truly know what to expect. And so moving on to another environment can be scary. And,
yes.
And sometimes when you're scared of stuff, you don't want to branch out and try it.
Right.
And so you stay in your little area, your little comfort zone, but it's not allowing you to flourish. It's not allowing you to become the wonderful, amazing person that you are destined to be if you keep yourself in that little area where you're comfortable. And sometimes you're not even comfortable. Sometimes you're just there just because you're familiar with it.
Right.
And that's not enough.
Yeah.
That's not enough. When it comes to achieving your goals and being successful, it is important for you to know that sometimes you have to change your location.
Yes.
You have to change where you want to be.
Right.
Both physically and mentally.
Yeah, mentally, we get stuck in a mental place a lot of times, like you said, for comfort reasons.
Right.
I'm comfortable doing this. Well, you know what? If you're going to be successful, you're going to have to learn to be uncomfortable.
Yes.
You have to learn to be uncomfortable.
Right.
Because if it's always comfortable, you're never going to branch out. You're never going to do anything different.
Right.
You're never going to reach for more.
Right.
Or I would do this. I would go for that, but I'm okay right here where I am.
Right.
You speak on that mediocrity a lot.
Yes.
That is not good that's good if that's what you want.
Right. But if you want more, if there's something inside of you that's just dying to come out,
right,
then that's not good.
Right.
You have to be willing to branch out.
Yeah.
To achieve more.
You have to get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yes.
You really do.
That is so true.
Yes.
I agree. Yes. And that last W, and which is very important, the why. What is your why? Why do you do it? Why do you strive for more? Why do you want more? You have to be able to explain that to yourself. Even if you don't want to explain it to somebody else, you have to be able to explain that to yourself. Now, my why burns deep. I mean, deep in my heart, my soul. I can even say from the pit of my stomach, as I am speaking right now, my why is to make sure that I live my life to the fullest. No regrets. No regrets whatsoever. And when I say that I want to live my life to the fullest, I am speaking on all levels. both personally, professionally, and spiritually. I want to have a grandiose life that when I look back, I can say, I guess what's the song? Job well done.
Yeah.
Because I want to make sure that I live it all. And I'm okay now with just, I want to live it all and I want to live it out loud. And I want to make sure that I leave a legacy for my children as I look at my son, for my children and for my children's children, that they will look at Dr. Shirley and say, she lived a good life.
Right.
So that is my why. That is my why. There are a lot of things that I have in the fire now that I am definitely trying to accomplish. But at the heart of it, it's about leaving that legacy and living a wholesome, full life.
Yeah.
That I want to be the person that has helped somebody along the way as well.
Right.
I want to live a good life and a good legacy. So that is my why.
Yeah.
I guess I kept going a little bit, but that is my why.
Fine. That's fine. But yeah, I guess, my why aligns with that a lot. I just want to live a good life, have some fun, and do some, some things. I guess I don't want to be, like you said, I don't want any regrets. I don't want to have a whole list of those woulda, shoulda, couldas.
Yes.
And just live a good quality of life, the best life that I could live, and be a good person. And then, of course, at that end, like you said, just have, and when it's time, say, well, job well done, soldier.
Yes. Yes.
In all aspects of it, spiritually, and everything, be a good person to help others along the way. Be an inspiration to others, and then, I know, when we lose people, it's like some people just say it just to be saying it, but I want people to be able to say, yeah, we just lost a good one. He was a good one,
Right.
And of course, I still have that desire to leave a legacy for our children.
Yes.
And their children and everything.
Yeah.
And not necessarily like not just leave a legacy for them, but to be able to help them if they need help,
Right.
if they
That's
need
true.
help and when they need help.
Right.
And just be there for them.
Right.
So that, it takes some of the burden away from them, because life is hard.
Life is hard.
Life is hard.
Life is hard.
And, but that's what they say, if you only live once, and if you do it right, once is enough.
Right.
So I want my once to be enough. That's it. I want to do some things and have some fun and go some places, just live a good life,
Right.
And
I've heard another twist to that when it says that you only die once, but you keep living more and more every day. So that's just another spin on it, because that's what we're doing. And that's what we want to encourage other people to do as well.
Yeah.
Keep living your best life. And to know your why, figure out what your why is on your journey for success, on your journey to live your dreams, not your fears. What is your why? It doesn't have to be financial. That may not be your why. It may not be personal. And for you, it may not be spiritual. I mean, it is for us as well, but it may not be for you as the audience. But find out what your why is. And that's something that you build on. because it's something that you feel.
Right.
It's something that you feel inside, and it's something that you continue to build on.
Right.
Once you know what your why is. When you know what your why is, then you realize why you get up every day to do it. You realize why you go that extra mile every day. You realize why you won't take no for an answer. You realize why it is that you would jump through fire to save someone. When you know what your why is,
right,
you're going to have to know that in order for you to be successful on this journey.
Right. And I guess, I just want to throw this in there too, as far as my why too. This is part of my why too. It's kind of who I am. It goes back to knowing who I am.
Okay.
Right. My dad taught me to always give my best, to always give 110%. Right. He says, I don't care if you shoveling crap. If you shoveling crap, you be the best crap shoveler that you can be.
Right.
And so I have that mentality. It's kind of like I'm almost competitive in doing what I do. Right. Because somebody may, and he would continue to say, somebody may do it as well as you, but nobody should do it better than you. If that's your trade, if that's what you're doing, then you should be the best at it. So I always try to be the best. I don't want anybody to do it better than me. Right. And then what has happened though is having that mindset has left me a trail of goodness behind me, because I have done a lot of things, as far as jobs and this, that, and the other. And I could go back to anyone. They would gladly take me back, because they know that when they give me something, they know that they can depend on me. Right? They know that they can depend on me, because if I can't do it right, I'm going to find out why I can't do it right. I'm not going to do it. I don't want to do it if I can't do it right.
Not going to outwork you.
They're not going to outwork me.
Not going to outwork you.
No. So that's not going to happen. So that's not going to happen. I am not going to be outworked.
Right.
Right. So and then that goes into your business too. If you're this person that is calling out of work, laying out, they can't find you, you're on the job, they can't find you, this kind of stuff, you're going to be that kind of person in your business too. Yeah. But the thing about it is, when you work for yourself, or you do something, for yourself, you work harder than you ever work. And you can contest to that. Yeah. You work harder when you work for yourself.
Right. Your work ethic is not something that just happens on a whim.
Right.
Work ethic is something that you achieve as you go through it, trying to improve yourself.
Right.
You will find out quickly that you'll have to put in more time.
Right.
But you see the results of it.
Mm-hmm.
Your work ethic and the results go hand in hand. If you only put in half the work, you're only going to get half the results.
Right.
So you have to be willing to work harder for yourself than you are to work for someone else.
Right.
So all too often, we'll go on a job and we will put in 110%. But then when it comes to working for ourselves, we don't want to show up every day.
Right.
You have to be willing to show up every day.
So, in talking about the, me having that little chip where I don't want to be outworked, I want to be the best in my craft, right? It's like a habit.
Right.
It's like habits, forming habits, good habits and bad habits. It's just like that. So if I get used to doing it that way, then that's the way I end up doing it. Right. It's not hard. It gets easier, because then if I go out there and I don't give 10%, I don't give 100%, then I feel bad about it. I'm like, well, darn, I could have did better than that.
Right.
I should have done a better job than that. Right. So it starts to become more part of your why, because it's that drive to desire to get out there and put out maximum efficiency.
And you have to know your why.
Yes.
What it boils down to is you have to know your why. Nobody can tell you what it is. is something that's deep rooted inside of you. And you have to be the one to determine what your why is.
Yes.
Because it's a part of the equation. It's a part of the 5 W's of success for you achieving your goals. So we're going to go back over. It was the who. You have to know who you are. You have to know what it is that you're trying to accomplish. And when, if not now, when and where. Location, location, location. Sometimes you have to change location, either physically or mentally. And why? What is your why? Only you can determine why you are on this journey, why you are striving to make a difference and a change in your life. We want to thank you. We want to thank our audience for joining us here on Harmon Talk. I want to give a special thank you to my better half, Jerome. Thank you for being here with me.
My pleasure. Always a pleasure.
I have enjoyed it.
I have too.
You always seem to bring out the best in me.
Wow.
Looking forward to the next time.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us with our second tools you can use. We always want to make sure that we provide you with valuable information to help you on your journey to success. You know, our motto is live your dreams, not your fears. So please remember to like and subscribe to Harmon Talk on whatever platform that you are listening to. And you can email us directly at Dr. Shirley, which is DrShirley, Dr. Shirley at harmontalk.com. And we upload new episodes every second and fourth Sunday. We appreciate all your support, and we look forward to hearing from you. See you soon.